point of the designer's work is really to communicate their ideas, and the more attractively and artistically they communicate their ideas, the easier it is for other people to sort of access what they've got in mind. The designer is producing the design work, but they're not actually going to be making the costumes or building the set. So it's important that they communicate what their ideas are, what sort of mood they're trying to aim for, what sort of quality, what the spirit of the design will be like once it's on stage. Here, for example, is the woman in the red suit, and then here you have a photograph of the woman in the red suit, and here you actually have the red suit. And I think this is quite an achievement, because this is 1992 when this show is on, and this suit, which was created for the show, has been in our costume store now since 1992, and as you can see, we've looked after it very well and it's in good condition. And sooner or later it'll be the perfect red suit and it'll be back on stage again. Control of colour is a big part of the designer's job, with the blues and the blacks and the white, purple, terracotta, goldy colour of the breeches, mustard, the green. It's a very strong statement. Greys and blacks, very much again controlling the colours, because colour is a great power, but a very powerful tool on stage, because you suddenly bring a red dress into a grey set and it absolutely lights up the stage. These costumes have been what's called heavily broken down, which is what we call it when we make it look old or slightly dirty. Because it's actually really quite difficult to do. It's not just that we've left them in our store with a load of moss. It's all to do with sort of things like cheese graters, lots of tearing, spraying with dye to take out colour. That would be all part of his idea for the design. We would call this a costume prop. This was a big head that we made for Schweik in the Second World War, which is a play by Brecht. It's built up on a cycle helmet which is worn on the actor's head, and then the actor's face is actually much lower down, and I don't know if you can just see here, but there's some net panels, and they've just been built in so that the actor can see out through those panels. So that's their vision access. And so then their own chin would come down here below the mask and would have been made up with stage makeup to match this sort of grey-white quality. And this mask was also made by Alison Ayres. As you can see, he's a fabulous creation with his huge great nose and red hair. And this over here is the costume drawing for this character. And you can see the actual drawing of the head there. So this is Independent Means by Stanley Horton, and here's the set, which, being Edwardian, it's very kind of closed in and intimate and cosy, but the designer used lace and decorative textiles and built them up to create this beautifully detailed interior. And as you can see, the lace is kind of scaled up, and this is exactly how it was realised full size. And that the scenic artists built up big kind of panels of fabric to emulate this quality of lace and decorative embroidery. And you can see here, this is the model for the show. It's called the Red Shoes, and it's quite nice. If you look close up, you can actually see the little footprints of the red shoes on the design, and then you can see the footprints of the black shoes also running across the stage. And you might notice particularly that the red shoes take quite an undulating, almost a playful sort of pattern, whereas the other shoes are, the footprints are all in a very strict and straight line. And this is part of the idea of the design. This is something that this designer is trying to tell you about the show. And if you were to actually go and see the show, all these little visual clues that a designer builds into their design is probably part of the enrichment of the experience for you as a member of the audience. That's what we hope as designers. We hope that what we do will help you to enjoy the show more and help you to understand the show more as well. Those are the sort of moments that as a designer you're always aiming for.